What are Zapad 2025 drills and are they a threat? Kiev urged swift Patriot delivery. What was discussed at the 30th meeting in Rammstein format? We will tell you more in this episode, so you'll be in focus. Stay with us for the latest updates and exclusive reports. So, Poland was attacked with drones, and one of them, by the way, fell on the Polish military base south of Warsaw. At the same time, Poland is closing its border with Belarus due to the upcoming joint Russian-Belarusian military drills, Zapad 2025. This was announced by Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk. The statement also comes in the wake of Russian drone attack on September 10th, with some of the drones reportedly entering from Belarusian airspace. Here are more details from my colleagues.
Aggressive Russian-Belarusian military drills, Zapad West 2025, are set to begin on Friday, September 12th. In response, the Polish Army and allied forces will launch their own exercises. This was announced by Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk. He emphasized that Warsaw must be prepared for potential provocations, sabotage, and possible aggression from Russia and Belarus.
In the interest of national security, we will close the border with Belarus, including rail crossings, due to the Zapad 2025 maneuvers, starting at midnight, Thursday, going into Friday. Donald Tusk, Prime Minister of Poland, as quoted by RMF24.
The Zapad 2025 military drills will take place from September 12th to 16th and are officially expected to involve 13,000 troops. However, Western intelligence sources estimate that the actual number could be as high as 30,000. It is also expected that the exercises will include planning for the use of nuclear weapons and the deployment of the Russian ballistic missile system, Oreshnik, as previously announced by Belarusian Defense Minister Viktor Krenin. Investigative journalists have reported the construction of new military bases in Belarus, one of which may house the Oreshnik missile system.
The first base is being built near the village of Pavlovka, south of Minsk. Construction began in June 2024. And as of September 2025, the construction site covers more than 2 square kilometers. Experts believe this site could host the Russian Oreshnik ballistic missile system. A second new facility has appeared on the outskirts of Gomel, less than 40 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Journalists believe this may also become a military base, from the Radio Free Europe/Radio Liberty publication.
European concerns over the Zapad 2025 drills are not inevitable. At least 19 Russian drones entered Polish airspace during the night of September 10th. The attack has been described as an unprecedented act of aggression. Following the incident, Prime Minister Tusk called an emergency government meeting. He confirmed that the drones posing a threat were shot down, but stressed that this marked a turning point politically. As a result, Poland has invoked Article 4 of the NATO treaty, which provides for consultations when a member state's territorial integrity, political independence, or security is threatened.
This situation brings us closer to open conflict than at any time since World War II. There is already a full-scale war across our border, but now something is happening in our skies that goes far beyond ordinary provocations. Today we must state this clearly and loudly. Poland has a political enemy on its eastern border, and that enemy is no longer hiding its hostile intentions. Invoking Article 4 is only the beginning. We expect significantly stronger support during consultations. This is a confrontation that Russia has declared on the free world.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte stressed that in light of the drone attacks on Polish territory, Article 4 of the North Atlantic Treaty has been triggered.
The North Atlantic Council met this morning and discussed the situation in light of Poland's request for consultations under Article 4 of the Washington Treaty. Allies expressed solidarity with Poland and denounced Russia's reckless behavior. A full assessment of the incident is ongoing. Allies are resolved to defend every inch of Allied territory. We will closely monitor the situation along our eastern flank, our air defenses continually at the ready.
According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, some of the Russian drones entered Polish airspace via Belarus. He stated that Kiev is ready to deepen cooperation with its partners to ensure effective protection from Russian aerial attacks.
At least 2 Russian drones that entered Polish territory overnight used Belarusian airspace. In total, several dozen Russian drones were moving along the Ukraine-Belarus border and across western regions of Ukraine, approaching targets both in Ukraine and, evidently, in Poland. Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine, on Telegram.
Meanwhile, in Minsk, the drones were dismissed as simply having lost their way. Belarusian officials claimed they had saved Europe by allegedly shooting down some of the drones and alerting neighboring countries. However, military analysts suggest this is unlikely. According to journalists, Russia had been preparing these strikes well in advance. Since June, Russian forces have reportedly been inserting local SIM cards into Shahed drones, enabling them to test and refine routes for attacks on Poland and Lithuania. Reported by Yulia Granovska, UATV News.
Ukraine has called on its partners to provide 10 Patriot systems and accompanying missiles. Due to the threat of Russian strikes targeting the energy infrastructure, they are urgently needed, stated Defense Minister Denis Shmyhal at the 30th meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group in the Ramstein format, held on September 9th in London. The meeting took place in a hybrid format. More details from Kristina Dombrovska.
Ukraine needs additional Patriot systems and missiles for air defense systems, particularly NASAMS, IRIS-T, and Hawk, stated Ukrainian Defense Minister Denis Shmyhal during the Ramstein format meeting. He emphasized the importance of continuing long-range strikes to pressure Russian military production and strategic targets. Shmyhal noted that just 3 hours before the meeting, Russia struck the village of Yarova in Donetsk Oblast, killing 24 people. While we discuss peace talks, conditions, and security guarantees, the Kremlin rejects any ceasefire proposals and continues to kill Ukrainian civilians, Shmyhal added.
For Ukraine, it's crucial to actively implement the following initiatives. First, we need clear schedule for regular financing and supplies of weapon packages, $6 billion to finance drone production, interceptors to protect our economy and civilian population, FPV to hold the front line. Unfortunately, we may lost our advantage in FPV on the front line. Deep strikes to continue pressure on Russian military production and military targets. To provide $60 billion in your 2026 budget for protection of Europe and Ukraine.
The United Kingdom will fund and produce thousands of long-range drones for Ukraine over the next year, announced UK Defense Secretary John Healey. He noted that since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion, the UK has delivered nearly 5 million rounds of ammunition, including 60,000 artillery shells, 2,500 unmanned platforms, and 200 electronic warfare systems.
So we have stepped up our military aid to Ukraine, but Putin has stepped up as well. So we must do further. We must speed up. We must speed up and surge our support to Ukraine. We must get more kit in the hands of Ukrainian fighters even faster. And across members of the UDCG, our defiance, our determination must match that of the Ukrainians. For our part, the UK will continue to push for peace. We'll continue to try and force Putin to the table alongside.
Germany will launch a new Deep Strike initiative and enhance support for purchasing long-range drones from Ukraine's defense industry, announced German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius during the Ukraine Defense Contact Group meeting. He added that Berlin will sign contracts worth 300 million euros with Ukrainian companies for the supply of thousands of long-range drones of various types produced in Ukraine. In addition to ongoing weapon system deliveries, Germany is in the process of supplying Ukraine with 2 additional complete Patriot systems.
Russia still shows no serious intention of bringing this war to an end. The opposite is the case. Together with our American allies, we are making a quick replacement of the Patriot systems possible. Second, we are helping Ukraine enhance their frontline defense in order to thwart Russia's chances of seizing more territory. To achieve this, we are continuing our deliveries of weapon systems, spare parts, and ammunition. And third, we are expanding Ukraine's capabilities to weaken Russia's war machinery in the hinterland, providing an effective defense.
In 2025, the European Union will provide Ukraine with a record 25 billion euros in financial and military aid, announced EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs Kaja Kallas on September 9th. Putin has zero interest in peace and is escalating attacks against Ukraine, but Russia cannot win this war, Kallas assured. She added that the EU plans to deliver 2 million artillery shells to Ukraine by October.
They have now also provided 80% of our 2 million rounds ammunition target. We aim 100% by October. And this is all so that Ukraine can defend itself, defend its civilians and push back the aggression.
The Czech Republic has previously ensured monthly ammunition deliveries to Ukraine through the so-called Czech Initiative for global ammunition procurement. The Czech Republic has also begun preparing ammunition supplies for Ukraine for 2026, as previously reported by President Petr Pavel. Additionally, it is critically important for Ukraine to actively implement the Pearl Initiative, which stipulates that all American weapons received by Ukraine will be funded by European countries. A clear schedule for regular financing and weapon package deliveries is needed, emphasized Denis Shmyhal at the Ramstein meeting in London. Reported by Kristina Dombrovska, UATV News.
What's your take on all this? Share it with us below. This is UATV. Stay sharp, in focus, and stay safe.